Cancer, welcome back. We're here to do your read. Yes, we do have Feather Totem for the month of November, and I do feel synchronistically it really is linked to the previous clips that we had and a rebirth. And I have pulled the cards. Number one, we do have a new deck this month. I was very blessed to get a birthday present from my daughter, and she has provided me with a brand new tarot deck, which synchronistically, with the orange coming through and the orange on the feather, we did get Feather Totem, as I mentioned, as a synchronistic spiritual message. The two colors that are really coming through do really correlate with the spiritual protection, our guides talking to us, brand new beginnings. Yes, those brand new beginnings, like any new rebirth, that is painful, but it's also going to be very beneficial in the long run. We don't necessarily see such at the time as such, but we're going to look at your cards. I have pulled some chakra cards. Each reading very much is very different. Please look at your sun, moon, and rising. You're going to get an overall energy. Otherwise, feel free to book a private reading. Now, the one message I was getting, especially because you actually had 3 chakra cards that came out, and we are going to have a mid-month, as well as you did get 2 crystal cards, which I felt was quite interesting that you got more on this occasion. Now, number one rule is during eclipses for both you and Leos, they do tend to have a bit of a rough time. You may be okay with it if you're in your self-awareness, because there is maybe a huge amount of clarity, or you could feel really off with your intuition. But for some of you, it can be that you're in alignment and you're really trusting your instincts. Now, we are recovering from the first eclipse. You do have 3 chakras. I'm going to show them to you, and I'll show you the crystals and the angel, the romance card, which is quite the serpent rising, very sacral chakra energy. Now, the 3 chakra cards you have, and the one synchronistic message was number one with the Feather Totem. I do particularly feel some of you could be connected to a loved one on the other side, and they're trying to give you some messages. You could be thinking of family, mother, home, or creativity. Very separately, it can be your guides, like I mentioned on the other side, giving you messages. Old habits can come up, okay? This is very Neptune, crown energy. You may need to increase your fluid. You may be looking at 2 paths and 2 ways a situation can go, the past versus the future. Some things you're actually moving away from. It can be friendship groups. It can be a belief system that you had. And I also feel a habit. Some habits are going by the wayside. I do feel over the next 6 months for you, really the direction you're going is very different to where you currently stand right now. But I also feel old habits kind of unwinding from your mindset, unraveling. You're seeing the truth of situations, and you're shifting into maybe alignment of what you feel your hopes and dreams and aspirations are. Your guides are saying you've got the answer. Trust yourself. And this could be to do with your children, to do with home, to do with creativity, to do with the pleasures in life, and money. Okay, I'm hearing money. Some of you could be shifting your home around, shifting your vibration. You may need to replace things. But again, they're going to stand the test of time. They're going to be a lot more maybe eco-friendly, and they're going to serve a purpose. So if that is happening with you, try and trust the process, but nevertheless, you will have a lot to do with romance as well this month coming up. I do feel the faith in the process. It's almost like you feel somehow you've gone off path. Now, the first crystal you did get before we get into your tarot, which will be pulled from this deck and very separately to navigate through to 2023. We do have Mars going retrograde from the 30th, 31st of October all the way through to 2023, which will affect you that whole time. It will be open shortly, so stay tuned for that update. So the crystal is saying, there appears to be that there can be some resistance, and it is Jasper, okay? So my life glides forward with ease. I am mindful, I think, and act with positive energy. There could be a situation that is really frustrating you, okay? There also could be some shadow work that you directly are doing, because the crystal is in reverse, which does feel in some shape or form, it can be that you feel that you're being too fair to individuals. You're being too empathetic and understanding. And it's not that we can't be understanding, but sometimes it's almost like we spite ourselves by doing too much, and then we feel a little bit overwhelmed. Ultimate possibilities. Relax into the flow of happy life. What goes around comes around. Attract goodness. Try to not get into the vindictive energy. There is possibilities with the Scorpionic energy moving into the first 2 weeks of November that we can feel, hey, something quite unfair has been done to us. And again, I feel you're kind of looking at that. I don't necessarily feel you're reacting to it. So I pulled a second crystal card for you. And it can be to do with love, pain of the past. It can be to do with finances. I accept the impermanence of all things. So Scorpio, deaths, endings, and the power to rise like the phoenix. I know that change brings renewal and goodness. So trying to have trust in the process, even if the past wasn't all of what you wished it to be, the new chapter is coming to terms with this and then radical change moving forward. This crystal can help you really move into that. It can balance some of those manifestations that you're wanting to achieve. Integrate and accept change. Okay? Change is as good as a holiday, though, so. Align with the cycles of life. Improve mental alertness. Focus on the present moment. I particularly feel with these changes that you're wanting to make, they can be quite large, right? Your romance card, power, sacral chakra. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. Now, where can this pop off before I get into the tarot in every area of your life? Everywhere. My name is no, my number's no, you've got to let it go. If you need to say no to somebody and you feel it's going to do you a disservice by saying yes, say no. Even if that person takes offense. We can say it in the most beautiful, lightful way. And again, people take things how they take it. To move through integrity, try to not be vengeful. That's one message that's coming through. If you're second guessing something, that is the answer, okay? Stay grounded. You're looking at your stability, how things are going to impact you, what's going to be best for you, what's going to be best for tribe. There can be some things happening with children. I will say that for those of you that have children. I do feel whatever this is, it's going to take a lot of energy, but you're pulling a tower down. I feel it's you choosing to pull a particular tower down. It's you choosing to very intentionally move in a particular direction. It's also saying there is a difference between intuition and ego. Ego is fear-based frequency. It's like it go this way, it can go that way. When your intuition is guiding you and you're like, look, I really want to do that, but it's going to hurt these people, that's your intuition. It's like, listen to it, do what you need to do. Particularly, you may find you are having trouble sleeping. You can, as an additional crystal, use obstinine and use citrine. Now, that's going to give you courage to address abundance. What could you say? Charisma, sex appeal, courage, confidence. Power, but in the healthy locations, not in control, but to recharge you. You can feel quite foggy mentally, not just because of the eclipse, but because of Mars placements. If you're finding at night time you're struggling to get to sleep, about a week either side of each eclipse, I would say it's probably going to be them also. Try to avoid unhealthy patterns. More so if it is over the next few months, which is a huge possibility, your guides are working with you. Work with the energy of what you're currently in. If you need to rest. If you can't sleep, unwind 4 hours prior to bed. Eliminate white noise, read a book, do something that can actually lower the mind to the point you can go off to sleep, and that potentially can help you as well as citrine. So in your general energy, you intuitively feel at the moment that you're moving into a new chapter. You're coming to terms with some situations of the past. Now, for those of you that potentially had children, family, and you're entering into a new chapter, we could call it the cookie cutter life. We could call it the life of where you were, say, married with children. The children then move out of the home. It's a new chapter. So however this lands in your life, you are intuitively knowing that a new chapter is coming. Now, you may be looking at your workplace. You may be looking at your love life. Wherever these things are, you're in the revelation and understanding that there is a new chapter. You're listening to your intuition. Some of you could be sort of frustrated that other people aren't seeing it. Pay none. It's a little bit like the sheep following the shape. Be a leader, not a follower, and do what you feel is correct for you. I do feel ultimately you could have a very huge instinct where it does come to all things this month. And I'm wanting you to trust the process of these new cycles. If you are having to take a moment and you are having to look at life and go, gee, maybe the way I'm using my money isn't correct. Maybe how I'm earning my money isn't correct. Whatever that individually be, because this is the general energy overall coming. We will look into it mid-month. But at the moment, I feel it's like you're having a revelation of a season, reflecting back in nostalgia, sometimes bittersweet. But I do feel don't rush things. Sit with what you feel you need to do if you have time to do such, and step back from white noise and decide what is going to be correct for you. I do feel some of you could feel you're in between a rock and a hard place. Again, as much as we can empathize with other people, you have to do what is correct for you. And it may mean removing white noise, stepping back from people's opinions, sitting with it for a little bit, maybe unpacking what they say, but definitely going into I need some more time. I need to take my time. I also feel these big plans, and my guides keep saying to me, the old you is dead and gone. You're like, look, I have big plans. Okay. I know that it's going to cause some rumbles. I know that maybe what I'm planning and what my life is going to look like in 6 to 12 months. It's a little bit like a New Year's resolution prior to New Year. I get that there's this intuition in your mind that is saying, okay, this is a big plan. This is a big hope. This is a big dream. But whatever this is, I'm going to pull down what no longer serves me. It could be that you're selling things that don't resonate with you, cleaning up home, reconnecting with the inner child, wanting more time to play, maybe shifting your diet around and feeling, okay, maybe I need to quit a habit. Whatever, but it does feel a large plan. This could be, okay, I want to buy a house. Okay, I'm going to start a business. However that lands for you, this is collective energy. I feel that it's going to take time. And if it's worth it, you're going to invest in it. Love, 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 love. And this overall can relate to love too. Okay, it's going to enter into every area of your overall month because this is the general energy. Take time, decide, unpack information. Sudden changes can happen. Love, you have the Two of Wands. Okay. Now, I do feel you have some clarity. This could be trying to get really clear about your intention of what you want. Yes, potentially, if, say, a relationship is out of alignment and it's not quite where you want it to be, I feel the notion is don't rush. Take your time, unpack things, logically look at the bigger picture, because I feel for a lot of you, especially those of you maybe that are soulmates or twin flames or entering into a new connection, I do feel you're actually looking at things going, I'm going to take things slow. I'm going to unpack them. I'm going to digest what this big plan is. For some of you, I do feel that there is going to be a lot of reflection, a lot of casting out old ways of dealing with one another. I also feel you need to be quite clear and concise with your communication. And I'm hearing the term less is more. I do feel while you're gaining clarity on how you feel, what the past was, where those old situations were, and restructuring, I do feel this can happen very suddenly. So it may be that I can't necessarily say we can get grounded this month because I think it's quite busy. But I also feel keep your eye on the goal, all right? Keep your eye on the goal where it comes to love. Now, could this be sudden pregnancies? Possibility between now and the end of the year. Could it be brand new ways of relating to each other? I do think so. I do feel you're going to start really reflecting back on things that have been bothering you. And I do feel particularly there's two ways this can play out. One, it can be that you express it to the individual. Please don't leave the toothpaste in the sink. I don't like it when you ghost me. Whatever those things are. Some of you could go more into your shell than usual. Home is where the heart is, Dorothy. But I do feel have the confidence to be yourself, not necessarily feel that everyone knows how you logically see the world, right? And have a chat. I do feel there's there's a building of trust in connections. There's a review and a different viewpoint of trust, of change. There can be nostalgia. Some of you may fear moving forward due to the past. There also some of you are making huge goals, looking at your money, saying, okay, where would we go? And even if you aren't directly in communication, these are the things you're putting into the ethers, and therefore it's going to attract the solution to you. That can be in a partner, a place, or a thing. Remember, big dreams, big changes. Now, your career, I do feel some of you, it could be that there's going to be some individuals moving away from certain industries, especially from your cards. I do feel you've come very far. Now, those of you that aren't working, you could be looking at, okay, I'm ready to re-enter into the workplace. This, again, is collective energy. What I do feel is you're looking at your new purpose in life, but there is this sadness. There could be a revelation that you have a choice between two opportunities. I also feel for some of you, there can be over the next 6 to 12 months an increase of income. But I feel with that increase, with your hopes and dreams, some of you, you're just right on the edge of that cliff with full card and tarot with a potential star card right in your face. But it's almost like you're wanting to quit, but something is just close to flowering. You're in the 3 of Swords around this frequency. And there's frustrations because it's like, gee, I'm working really hard. I'm trying really hard. You may not be having time with the people you love. You may be reflecting upon family. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that career is bugging you. Okay? But it can be you beating yourself up over how could you not balance all worlds? How can I be maybe a mother or a father and be a worker? And, in relationships, that can be balanced. Single parenting may be a little bit more challenging. And even in partnerships, challenging. Okay? So I do particularly feel living in your truth somehow can be making you feel guilty for some of you. I'm a success. I'm going to move forward. I wish to be successful. I have hopes and dreams and aspirations. Am I hurting other people? Am I giving enough? I do feel, some of you are giving a lot and you may need to slow things down. I do feel overall, if there is a person leaving and it's quite sudden, if you are feeling you're not vibing the tribe, you're kind of sitting with it. I do feel you could be missing. I just keep hearing, Dorothy, I want to go home. I want to go home. It's almost like when we're living the adult life and we're looking at life and it's like, where were the good old days? Where was the days where I could sleep in, maybe somebody was making us pancakes, simplicity. I do feel you're trying to simplify your life and you're incredibly grateful for the small things in life. But you do have large openings here, and these large openings, spiritually, you may feel you need to address something, and you feel it could particularly be causing a little bit of angst. But I feel it's almost like you maybe need to bring something to a close. Is it a belief? Is it a contract? I feel it's like you're wanting contentment, but you could be starting over new. Now, how can this look? Number one, I do feel particularly there is a possibility that you are moving into a different stream of work for some of you, dealing with it a different way, having the courage and realizing your worth in employment. Can that be that your boss is coming towards you and going, good gosh, you've really put the effort in this year. I thank you so much. You've gone above and beyond potentially. But I also feel where you're wanting to go in life, you're dropping attachment because you have a major plan. Okay, you've got some major hopes and dreams here. You want the balance of work and home, okay? But you're also trying to complete tasks, get things done. If there was a person that passed over and the anniversary is coming up, especially because of the card and the feather totem, I do feel they're guiding you, they're supporting you, they're proud of you, and they want you to keep going. Money, and this is why I do feel whatever this is, it's a major plan. I do feel for some of you, you don't know quite how destined you are, and I kind of smile at that. I think it's lovely because I do feel some of you are going to get quite a surprise. There is this feeling at the moment in your wealth sector. Now, this can be heart chakra, belief in abundance, belief in manifestations, the physical wealth, something that you want to do and how you're going to directly achieve it, because you have high expectations of yourself at the moment, Cancer, and you have dulls for quite a while. You are looking at things very logically. Okay, I need to clear up some loose ends. I need to cut things off. I need to fine tune my budget. You've got the Star card in reverse. But again, I'm really spiritually, especially because the hidden realm has been giving us a lot of clues this month. I feel particularly it's to do with your mindset. I feel you're being a realist. You're like, if I want to make my world and my dreams come true, I'm going to have to change some things. I'm going to have to pull some towers down. I'm going to have to face maybe the error of ways of the past. And it could be tying a debt up, tying a bill up. So yes, particularly, you could feel very frustrated. Some of you could be having a lot of money coming in, but you don't have something to show for it. So you're retweaking things, but like the channeled messages were saying, you're so close. You're so close for this new chapter. Please try and have faith. I do feel particularly there could be something that needs addressing. This could be surrounding children. It could be surrounding alimony, romance, luxury foods. Something is shifting, but it is shifting because you do have a big plan. And I also feel there could be you could go into management. You could go into maybe the energy of being a teacher, working away. Something big is happening. Now, even though this is the monetary sector, the yin to the yang of the energy being shown to me is a big plan that you're wanting. You're willing to make a sacrifice, but you also are getting frustrated because you do physically feel as though with the hangman in reverse that, you're lacking faith. It could be, look, am I being silly here? Am I getting too close to the edge? Am I like full card going to fall off that cliff? And I feel it's these old frequencies. It's almost like the notion that we feel cursed and we're like, is this just happening to me? Am I the only one on the planet that's having maybe tower moments, endings? No. I don't think you're crying about it. I just feel, you could be, I just feel you're looking at it very realistically and you have high expectations of yourself. Now, my guides are saying to me, keep going, okay? You're very close. You're going to have some good luck coming your way. I also feel the hidden truth of what it is with the High Priestess in reverse in the hidden realm can be our subconscious mind. Spiritually, I do feel particularly because Mars is transiting your 12th house, it's belief systems. Aries and Chiron also is helping us heal, and everything is very Mars-like at the moment. So I do particularly feel slow and steady is going to win the race. I do feel accepting, that we do the very best that we can. But I do feel you're going to have a lot of really great ideas this month. And I really want you guys to be open to it. I don't want you to be the house of your own dream. I want you to have faith in yourself. And I want you to know some of those dreams are going to be so much bigger than you ever believed. I do particularly feel to trust your guides, but to have realistic expectations, but to reform that connection with brand new beginnings and to get excited about it. Love and light, I will see you for mid-month. If you do want a private reading, you can go to the link directly below. If you did want the tarot deck that I used, it is here on the screen. And stay tuned. Hopefully, by the time these videos are open, we will have Mars in Gemini retrograde open. I have really dived into a blog post that gives my predictions of what potentially will be happening during Mars in its retrograde and how it will directly impact America, certain locations I've mentioned, certain predictions, and the link will be on YouTube in the community tab. Otherwise, you can go to the information box directly below the video for the update. Take care, beautifuls. I'll see you soon.